mechanical distribution function and the classical distribution function. So we are by now familiar with Maxwell-Boltzmann distribution function as well as Bose-Einstein Fermi-Dirac distribution function. Now we would like to derive Maxwell-Boltzmann distribution function. So in the case of this distribution function, that is Maxwell-Boltzmann distribution function or classical distribution function, n molecules of a given gas, n identical molecules of a given gas is distinguishable. So epsilon 0 energy state which is acquired by n0 molecule has this much Boltzmann weight corresponding to epsilon 1 energy state where n1 number of molecule n1 number of molecule occupying epsilon 1 energy state. Boltzmann weight corresponding to this is this much. Similarly, epsilon r state where nr number of molecules occupying the state. So this we can simplify in this manner, provided this number of molecules fixed, that is capital N. Okay, it is fixed, then only we can write in this fashion. So this is your partition function in the fixed particle ensemble, that is Kronecker ensemble. Same thing we can write in grand Kronecker ensemble, where Z is the chemical potential in terms of thermal energy for the particles. So partition function, grand Kronecker partition function is written as Z power n, Zn mb, that is n particle partition function in the Kronecker ensemble multiplied with chemical potential in terms of thermal energy power n, and you can sub. So this is a series, and in a finite series you can substitute and 0 and so on. So you have a series that is an exponential series e power x. So if you expand this term by n, you will have a e power x, where x is z summation over r e power beta er. So this is your Kronecker partition function. This you can use to get average occupancy of the state, rth state, where energy is epsilon r at any temperature T. So differentiating this, you will get this term 1 upon qb. See, log of qmb we are differentiating, so you will have first term, that is 1 upon qmb, then separate differentiating this exponential term will give you exponential function. After further differentiation, remaining term is this argument of this exponential term has been differentiated to get z. Thereafter this e power minus beta er, that is there, then minus beta er differentiated with respect to er, you will have minus beta. So substituting this value here, we have average occupancy, that is z e power minus beta epsilon r. This is epsilon r, not er, epsilon r this one. So this is the nature of Maxwell-Boltzmann distribution function or classical distribution function. This classical distribution function we have plotted with respect to energy. It has this kind of variation. When epsilon r is 0, you have maximum possibility of occupancy of the state. You keep on increasing this energy, this occupancy of state decreases rapidly. Unlike your Fermi-Dirac and Maxwell-Boltzmann distribution function. So we would like to see one by one the possible applications of these distribution function. So Maxwell-Boltzmann distribution function, that is classical distribution function, it is applicable for case when de Broglie wavelength of your particle is very small to interparticle separation. So suppose you have a particle that see, these particles are tiny, therefore there is a attached wave character with these particles. So this wave character we define using a wavelength, that is de Broglie wavelength. It is relative temperature in this fashion. So lambda is inversely proportional to square root of temperature. So this energy you can write in this manner. From there you can get momentum of the particle, and h upon p is nothing but de Broglie wavelength of the particle. So this de Broglie wave is confined to particle position. So this is the interparticle separation. So this wave is confined to this particle, and the separation is very large in comparison to de Broglie wavelength of the particle. So in that situation you are in the high temperature regime. Your physics can be derived using Maxwell-Boltzmann distribution function. So all the transport phenomena that you study at high temperature, all you can study using Maxwell-Boltzmann distribution function. For example, you can derive average velocity, root mean square velocity, most probable velocity using Maxwell-Boltzmann distribution function. So these are the application of MB statistics. This was the statistic derived by Maxwell-Boltzmann, and it was the beginning of molecular this first principle approach to derive physics of the system. So this statistics often used to derive physics of the system. However, discrepancy in the conclusion drawn using this statistics was rectified using Bose-Einstein and Fermi-Dirac statistics, and the trouble is only at low temperature regime. At low temperature regime, where this your de Broglie wavelength is comparable to interparticle separation, this Maxwell-Boltzmann statistics fails to derive physics of the system. So in that case, we have alternative, that is quantum mechanical distribution function. That can be, so when particle has integer spin, you have Bose-Einstein distribution function that we have seen in earlier class, and when it has half integer spin, you have Fermi-Dirac distribution function. Now you will have to appreciate this Fermi-Dirac and Bose-Einstein distribution function, its application. So let us look at Fermi-Dirac distribution function. So Fermi-Dirac distribution function corresponds to r-digit spin, half integer spin. When the particle has half integer spin, in that situation what happens? Your state, when you go to low temperature, you basically certain degree of freedom of the particle has been frozen. So your particle is represented by a wave function that possesses there is some symmetry requirement for this state, that is quantum mechanical rules has to be followed by these particles, that is Pauli exclusion principle. That's why there is some symmetry requirement onto the state of the particle system. So your particle, suppose these are the various energy state accessible to your particle, and this particle has half integer spin. So according to Pauli exclusion principle, so we consider only say single spin state. So the only particle can be included in this state, one particle in this state, and so on. So we can fill all the states till say this value epsilon f, up to which we can fill all the possible n number of particles. So this is the state at T0 up to which all energy states are occupied by the fermions. So this is the Fermi energy state. So this gas has degeneracy occupied in all these state at T0, which is occupied from here to here up to Fermi energy state. It represents degeneracy of this fermionic system. It is basically degeneracy of fermionic system, that all state at T0 occupied up to Fermi energy value. Any new particle can be accommodated at energy state above Fermi energy. So this is you mean by degeneracy or pressure due to degeneracy in the fermionic system. So we have a couple of example in brief we can describe. So free electron theory you are familiar with. So in the case of free electron theory, what happens? We rectify trouble of this theory of metal due to Dulong and Page theory of metal, classical theory of metal due to Drude and Lorentz. In that case, what we do, we consider all the particles, that is electrons and electrons, we assume they participate in the transport phenomena. But that was the wrong assumption. But only those particles participate in transport phenomena at any temperature T that has energy above Fermi energy level. Those particles which are in the vicinity of Fermi energy level, they can only participate in the transport phenomena. So you say this is the temperature, you heat this sample up to say T temperature. So up to T temperature, corresponding to T temperature, you have energy, that is kT, and this much number of electron will move to conduction band from valence band to behave as a conduction electron, and they only can participate in transport phenomena. So n dash is the number of electron out of total n number of electrons that can participate in the transport phenomena. This is the beauty of this Fermi-Dirac distribution function, on the basis of which you can conclude this fact about the Frick-Tan theory. Frick-Tan theory will mean electron subjected to Pauli exclusion principle. So electrons subjected to free electrons subjected to Pauli exclusion principle, that is given by Frick-Tan theory, and it is derived due to the fact that this fermion has degeneracy. And a mean free path, that we are familiar with lambda mean free path. So according to classical theory, this lambda has a value that is comparable to lattice parameter. However, observed value of lambda is 10 power 8 times or even more than lattice parameter. 10 power 8 times or even more than lattice parameter. So this lambda can be explained only on the basis of classic this quantum mechanical distribution function. Okay, this according to this kind of using this kind of distribution function, you can explain this lambda, as well as magnetic susceptibility, this parametric susceptibility of metals, and specific heat of metal can be explained only using this this Fermi-Dirac distribution function. So these are the application of your Fermi-Dirac distribution function. Now we move to Bose-Einstein distribution function. So in the case of Bose-Einstein distribution function, so particles has integer spin and distribution function has this kind of nature. So what happens? This occupancy, see in this case number of this occupancy of state is 0, 1, 2 and anything. But in the case of Fermi-Dirac distribution function, occupancy of state is either 0 or 1. But in this case it is 0, 1, 2 and any value of a particle, any number of particle can be accommodated in a given energy state epsilon. So in this case average number of occupancy of state is this much. So as soon as this number, this term e power epsilon minus mu beta approach the value 1, you have occupancy of state that is infinity. What happens in this situation? Your all particle condense to a single energy state, that is epsilon state. So in that situation your particle interact with each other without any loss of energy. They can transfer, since all particles are in epsilon energy state, so these particles can transfer their energy without any loss of energy. Okay, so your superfluid, that is a type of, we can assume that it is similar to a Bose-Einstein condensate, where particles exchange their energy without any loss of kinetic energy. So it has strange anomalous behavior, that is superfluidity is seen because of that fact. For example, we apply this fact to say superconductivity. In the case of, we can explain normal to superconductive phase transition behavior. Here you have a electron gas. So electron gas is here. This lower circle represents all possible k states of electrons. So k, this is 0. So along this side you have positive k, this side we have negative k. So we have electron with say down spin and a plus k. Here electron with up spin and a minus k. So these two electrons basically they are fermion, but they are coupled, and this coupling is because of lattice vibration. So this phonon acts as a mediator which mediates interaction between these two electrons. So when they are coupled, they are behaving as a Cooper pair. So these Cooper pair can exchange energy without any loss of energy. So you have superconductivity phenomena, which is because of Bose-Einstein condensate of these Cooper pairs. So again, this helium 2He3, this is the 2He3 where 2 electron, 2 proton and 1 neutron is there. So nucleus of this helium 3 has a odd number of fermions, so it has half integer spin. However, in the case of He4 you have 2 proton as well as 2 neutrons, so even number of fermions, so you have integer spin. So integer spin will mean it is acting as a boson. So in this case what happens, when this e power epsilon minus mu beta has a value 1, we have occupancy of state turn out to be infinity. So in this case we have Bose-Einstein condensation possible. So all your helium 4 molecule condense to a single energy state, as the epsilon energy state, to form a superfluid. So this is the phase diagram of your superfluid. So this is a 25 atomic atmosphere pressure. So this helium 4 that has 2 states. So beyond this line you have helium, that is normal helium fluid, but below this temperature you have helium 2, that is the superfluid, that is Bose-Einstein condensate is there. So So below this temperature you have Bose-Einstein condensate or superfluid, which has anomalous behavior. It has so this is the nature of variation of specific heat at 2.18 Kelvin for helium-2 liquid. For this helium-2 liquid, specific heat has this kind of variation. So this variation is like lambda. So we call this temperature as a lambda, T lambda we call. So in this case, what happens? Your superconductivity has variation, and this variation has logarithmic singularity. That is why we call it this helium-1 to helium-2 phase transition. That is a higher order phase transition. So for this case, we have introductory idea we can draw in this fashion. There are detailed theory accessible to D.P. Landau. So in this case, we have this in this helium-2 state we have sound quanta. Okay, so this fluid we in the superfluid state we have this liquid. It is a mixture of two liquid. So normal liquid it is a superfluid. So we talk in terms of superfluid where order parameter is written in this manner. So this is order parameter. So in below this is temperature 2.18 Kelvin, what happens? Your entire helium molecules represented by a single wave function. This is the type of Ginzburg-Landau type of order parameter. So this is psi r square root n0 m psi. So this is the density basically. This is something like a density. Psi star will give you density. So that number basically for given helium fluid you have this density which is fixed one. So your quantum mechanical state is represented by a single wave function that has a amplitude and phase factor. So this is a amplitude factor and this one is the phase factor. So this entire state has single phase. This entire state is represented by a single phase. When you move if we see change in phase across a closed loop, we have integral multiple of 2 pi. So this is the ordered phase or order parameter in your system. This is the order parameter for your superfluid state with using this type of wave function, this psi of r, this vector psi of r, a r, even I phi r. One can solve Schrodinger equation to get superfluid current density in this manner. It has this much value, and this is the speed of your superfluid. This is irrotational. So this is all about your superfluidity. Anything which is left in your course, I request to students of MSc second semester to please write to me in the comment section so that I may prepare some extra video to upload and help you all. So this is the assignment. Students are requested to work out it in their notebook.